Alright, men, this has to be one of the most evil things I have seen during my time online, which is really saying something considering when you spend enough time on the internet, you kinda see the worst of humanity, and if this isn't a prime example of that, I genuinely don't know what is. So, recently a clip has gone massively viral across social media of this TikTok captioned, "He cheated, so I threw his mom's ashes in the river." Now immediately, just right off the bat, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? I don't care how bad the cheating was. I don't care if you walked in on him blowing your father while simultaneously going down on your mother. You don't destroy someone's ashes who had nothing to do with it as revenge, man. Like, realistically, let's think about this. What do you get out of doing that? Yeah, sure, you did hurt your ex-boyfriend very badly. Congratulations. Now you are an absolutely terrible person who nobody will ever trust again, and you're on the bad side of God knows how many people, because I don't know if you really thought about this. Clearly you don't think about anything because you're very stupid, but your ex-boyfriend wasn't the only person that lady was related to. She had a lot more family members, like some more kids, some cousins, whatever, that cared about her deeply, who you have just hurt in the worst way possible. So now you got your ex-boyfriend pissed off and the entire family tree, and you never know who you're messing with, right? Your ex-boyfriend, you kinda understand that, right? But these random people, they may just be so loyal to their family, they'll kill somebody for messing with their dead relative, which I don't hope happens to you, but it is a possibility. That's not something you want to mess with, but clearly you did, all because he cheated on you, which, don't get me wrong, is insanely scummy and I don't condone that whatsoever. However, you're automatically a worse person by messing with his dead mother, because let's think about it, right? Cheating on someone is awful. Dumping the final thing they have of their dead relative, in my opinion, is way worse, because cheating, when it happens to you, it sucks, right? It's gonna hurt for a while, but you can kind of get yourself back in shape, right? It's not like you're gone for good, but you can't say the same about his mother's remains, because once that shit hits the river, it's game over. It's gonna start dissolving, the urn is gonna start filling with water, everything is gone for good. Like, the action you committed is way worse than the one he did, and it's not like it's a competition of who's the worst person. I'm just saying you went to the absolute extreme for no reason, dude. If you want to destroy something to get back at your ex, do it to something that he can replace and that you can put a price tag on. Like, I don't know, the front doormat. Take a shit all over his front doormat. Maybe burn his favorite hoodie you still have inside your closet. I don't condone any of these because they're all terrible ideas, but if you're gonna be a psychopath, at least do it to something that you guys can get over, right? Because on that hand, you're not gonna be in legal trouble, and his whole family tree will not want your head on a spike. Only he will want your head on a spike. But yeah, after this TikTok went massively viral across social media, people started to do a bit more digging into this whole situation, and apparently this here TikTok isn't the actual event taking place. This lady isn't a terrible person. It's only a reenactment of a story that did actually happen about 2 years ago in Texas, and it goes like this. Apparently the guy and his girlfriend were not on good terms for obvious reasons, and one day in June 2020, comes home from work to find the urn is missing, right? It's not where it usually is, and this would send anyone into a red panic, because where else would your mother's urn be besides your home? It's not something that can necessarily grow legs and walk by itself. He calls 911 to report what happened, and they tried to get to the bottom of it, but for 2 whole years, nothing came up whatsoever. He did mention that him and his girlfriend were not really on good terms, but there was nothing to suggest she stole the urn, so for 2 years, he just had to sit and guess as to where his mother's urn went off to, and it would have stayed that way. But about a month ago in May 2022, the girlfriend's daughter was staying with him, and he overhears a phone conversation where his girlfriend is just openly admitting to her daughter that she stole the ashes and dumped them into the river. So after hearing this, he's insanely pissed off, as anyone would be, and tries to contact her, but couldn't successfully do so until out of nowhere she just randomly texts him and admits to what she did. So not only is this girl a psychopath, psychotic B-word, right? An absolute demon. She is also a terrible parent. Why the hell would you admit such a thing to somebody while your daughter is in the same home with them? When you strike that kind of anger into somebody, only God knows what's gonna happen next, dude. You do not want your daughter to be around somebody who's that angry, yet for some reason you're just provoking him, right? You're striking more and more anger into him while your daughter is pretty much in harm's way. Now, luckily, the guy didn't do anything crazy and like beat the daughter, but you never know when somebody's that angry. That could have very well happened, and it would have been all your fault for putting your daughter in harm's way. Now, luckily, justice was served to some extent. She did get a year in prison and a $4,000 fine, but I think it should be a little bit more because she did also endanger her child quite a bit. So I don't know if that was like factored in, but if it wasn't, it really should be, because nobody this psychotic and reckless should be a parent whatsoever. And what kind of example are you setting for your daughter? That is a surefire way to raise somebody to be an absolutely horrible person, man. And despite everything she did, because the internet sucks, there's people on here willing to defend her. There's comments saying, "Felt you, sis. She's so real. Thank you, queen, for doing this. She did what she gotta do." I don't know if you guys are like 12 years old or just mentally impaired, but she did not do what she had to do at all. She went a million times overboard what she had to do. Here's what she had to do. Step 1, cut the guy off. If he's willing to break your heart and betray you that bad, he clearly had no respect for you and deserves no more of your time and energy. Step 2, start improving yourself. Get onto some self-improvement, right? Start improving in the areas you need to improve in and become a better version of yourself. Step 3, if you want to and whenever you're ready, get back into the dating market and find somebody better and more loyal than your ex. I know sometimes it's a bit difficult to find the one for you, but if you give it enough dog and you're a likable person, you will find somebody who is a great fit for you. And by doing that, you can leave the past behind you and move on from that selfish asshole. And finally, step 4, sit back and just let karma run the course. This does not mean stalk their social media profiles to see what bad things happen to them. It just means have peace of mind knowing that if they keep up being an unfaithful asshole, it's gonna catch up with them. Because eventually, when they cheat on the people that care for them and betray their trust, nobody is gonna want to date them. Nobody is gonna want to be with them because they expect they're just gonna get their heart broken, and all this guy's cheating, unfaithful antics will eventually catch up to him, and while you're sitting there living a fulfilling life, becoming a better person every day, they're sitting there laying in the bed of their shitty actions. And there you go. That is all you had to do to move on properly and get a good closure, but now you gotta live with the failure of this relationship forever, because you now have a criminal record due to your shitty revenge plan. This embarrassing mugshot is out there now forever, and your life is pretty much ruined from this point on because you didn't want to act like the 40-year-old adult you are and do something stupid and vengeful. Alright, that's it for my TED Talk. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. If you did and want to watch something more lighthearted, click the video on screen right now, and yeah, I'll see you there. Bye-bye.